So in order to get it off, we've got to get this top plate off first. It's pretty simple. And we got to get this front cover, which also just pops off. Pretty easy. And these just pop out. Sometimes they get stuck. You need your handy little tool, which is this thing. And you can just push on the pins. You just gotta look to the sides to be able to see them. I'm not too worried about keeping this thing in perfect shape because, like I said, it's gross. And I don't know that I'll use it, but I don't like to break a good case because you never know. I could end up doing something else with it, using it for another project. Just gotta be a little forceful. Goes. You needn't break it. Alright, so now we'll do the bottom, same way. That one popped right out. Oh, someone's been in here before, it's broke. So, trust the sticker. Luckily, we have the right to repair, so. Just cut that a little bit. Pop this apart. Here. On there, good. Shut it off. Remember before you judge that I never claimed to be a professional. I'm just decent at everything. That's what I call it anyway. Alright, let's pop the back apart first. There's that. So there's 4 little tabs, actually 5 that have to line up right here. To get this off, it's not bad. Just push it in, pull it apart. 2 more on this side, same way. Push them in, pull it apart. So once you get that far, you can come back to the front. Pop these clips. I may have to do this one thing at a time here. This won't be a bear. This 360's hanging on to 2007. Okay, and now, how gross that thing was. There's that tab. Maybe I broke it. So, take that and set it to the side. And then we will take out all these silver torques that are on the outside edge. And actually, I think it's only these main ones. So we'll go ahead and get those apart. It's a great toolkit I got on Amazon. It's tons of bits. Great for stuff like this. So I'm just gonna pop it apart. Let's see. Looks like it's probably, let's go right here, one size up. So I'll just unscrew all these. So you'll know you have the right ones because they're all long. If I remember correctly, now that I'm looking, I think they're all like a, I don't know if this is focused good or not, but they're all like a squared off head. The rest of these are all rounded. You don't need to pull those just yet. These just hold it to the main case. And once we're done, we won't need those at all, because we will secure everything to this metal cage, and that way whenever we put the Xbox back together, the only thing that will really hold it together is just going to be the 2 pieces of plastic on the outside and the tabs on those cages for the top and the bottom. And that will hold it all together. Alright, so from here, we'll go ahead and we will pop off the open button. So I don't want to break this just yet. Should come out of there from pretty easily. Perfect. And all this left over. It's a little funky. It's not nearly as bad as it looks on the outside. So from there, we need to undo the disk drive. We got to unplug a couple things. So we'll pull the disk drive out. Also, be sure if you're attempting this at home that you have not had the Xbox plugged in for a little bit. Actually, no, it doesn't matter on 360 because the brick is separate. So I'm not going to tell you you can't get shocked, but the chances are way lower. So I'm not too concerned with this stuff. This Xbox did have an issue, if I remember right, I think it red ring. There is a possibility that I'll put this, I may fix the 360 because it's not hard to fix anymore. I may fix it and put it in a PC case just to do it. Anymore, you can pick up PC cases cheap, and honestly, I think it'll make for decent content. Just showing what you can and can't do with a little bit of ingenuity. But as always, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay, so we got most of the way apart. We'll pop off this front cover right here, and we want to keep this because this is the front power button for the Xbox and the LEDs and stuff, and we can actually reuse all that because just like on this one, this is actually a i5 PC, and the power button actually turns the PC on and off. So no matter what I do, even if I use the PS5, the PS5 power button thankfully is a regular switch. It's not touch button, so it has two wires. So I'll actually be able to wire it to this switch, and we'll still be able to use it just like a factory Xbox 360. I'm just hoping that we have the room. The cooler on the PS5 is awfully big. EK does make a water block for the PS5, but it's $450, and just in my opinion, I can't make that make sense. As cool as it would be, so we're gonna have to do something. So now that we have all this done, we will flip it back over, and we need to remove all these main board screws, which are going to be all these and these four in the center. Now I believe this should still be this little tiny guy, so we'll do these first. Which, if anyone's ever fixed one that had a red ring, you're probably all too familiar with all this. Unfortunately, I have had to do that in the past. It's not the worst thing in the world. It used to be a great site. I believe it was called Llama, or Llama Mods or something like that. And you could get on there and buy all the mods you wanted. I actually had a clear Xbox 360, and I put some LEDs in it and upgraded fans. I think there was a fan mod, if I remember right, that would just make the fans run at like 70% or something at all times. It just basically turned your 360 into an airplane, but it didn't red ring, so call that a W. So once we get all these out, we're not really gonna need none of these screws, but I'm a hoarder, so I don't throw away screws because you never know. You might end up using them again in different projects. I know I use a lot of stuff from like RC trucks and stuff. Like whenever I mounted the motherboard on the Halo computer, I used RC link mounts, bolts and nuts. So you never know what you'll repurpose. Obviously, if you're doing this and you're trying to keep the console intact, you'd want to put something under at this point, because when I'm done taking all these screws out, it's gonna fall and hit the table, more than likely. And you don't want to take a chance damaging something. I honestly don't care, because like I said, if I've got to replace something anyway, I'm gonna be doing more than that. But my main goal is, this is probably going to be junk, if I'm being honest. I've got another 360, I've got another one on the way, so I've got plenty of extra stuff. If I'm going to make something out of something, it's going to already work. I don't want to have to work on a 360 to make it work and then tear it apart. So once we got it all out, we can just finagle this, and boom. As you can see how gross that thing is, and this thing's seen better days. So good riddance. So set this off to the side, and obviously I'll clean this out, but we'll do a quick test fit. So this is the PS5 main motherboard cover and also the cooler. So this whole thing has to fit inside this cage if I want it to work correctly, and as you can see, it's already too big. So we can do some modification. I can do some things that I probably shouldn't do, and knowing me, we'll probably do them. The motherboard is cut off about right here, so I could very well cut it right here. And probably get away with it, because this is the last 4 on the PCB right here that need to be touched by the thermal pads. So a very good chance I could just cut it short, and if I cut it short, it will almost fit. So we may do some modding and see what we can do. Worst case scenario, we may test fit it in another console case. I'd really like to put it in an Xbox. I think that would piss off a lot of purists, and I've talked enough trash over the years about PlayStation, although I will say the PS5 is a very good console, that at this point I don't want to be seen with a PlayStation, although I already have one. But we'll see what we can do.